Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Let me check the date and make sure I'm right here. Okay, just to make double sure. Looks like I still have a problem on my stream strength here. So this is kind of another experiment. I thought hardwiring this in might help, but let's just see what happens. It's the 19th of January, 2018. Hello, everybody. I don't get a chance to see the chat room coming in on this. Like I said, I'm still trying to set some things up and find out what's going on. It looks like I'm going to have to upgrade my internet connection. Even hardwiring it in doesn't seem to help a whole lot, so this is going to be jumping around a bit. So anyway, good morning. It's a momentous week, momentous day today. Big day yesterday, as you all know. And the FISA report, the memo, damaging. No wonder they started moving on trying to cause a world war and to kill a lot of people and to put Trump in a bad situation. But of course, I've named this chain the McCain gang. Of course, McCain's only one part of it, but look at all the things he's done. Now, to start off right now, what is he doing? He's feigning this brain problem, which may have been a farce the whole time because he knew this was coming. But if he can make a decision on whether or not to vote on the budget and other things, he certainly is capable of being tried for the crimes that he has been alleged to have committed. Everything from helping the Syrian rebels, ISIS, to, of course, being involved in the coup against Trump. But I wanted to take this opportunity talking about McCain because he has been my nemesis, my arch enemy for years because I knew what he was. And although I've never confronted him directly, I've done it, over the internet and other places. He's a phony. I'm not going to go through his whole history, but you can look it up. What he did on the USS Forrestal, for example. His squealing when he was in the POW camp. I mean, I give him the fact that he was in a POW camp is terrible, but the other guys in there didn't do what he did while he was there, and then everything else that he's done. And I'm not going to go into that. No sense in lambasting him. Innocent until proven guilty, right? Innocent until proven guilty. Unfortunately, they didn't look at Trump that way. They didn't look at the Bundys that way. They didn't look at the Hammonds that way. It was, we're going to seize everything from them. We're going to cause them problems. We're going to name call them. We're going to accuse them of crimes. We're going to, all of this, and our system of not just, well, due process still happened, but not the proper due process in all of those cases. The Russian collusion story, the obstruction of justice against Trump, the mental instability claims, and everything else that they've tried to do to undermine our government and to undermine the duly elected president of the United States and his administration. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on all that. What I wanted to tell you about as I test this, and of course it's got a problem I can see, so we're going to have to figure something else out. Again, you'll probably hear my voice okay, but the system just isn't capable of handling a live stream, even hardwired in. But I wanted to tell you, back in 2014, I think it was not too long after the Bundy Ranch standoff. It was the following September or October, somewhere in there. Peter Santilli ran and some of his radio listeners, audience, ran a demonstration. It was going on at the same time, or actually part of the veterans demonstration down in Phoenix about providing better services for vets, and Santilli linked in with that to do the Detain McCain protest. I don't know if any of you remember that. It wasn't very big. A lot of people didn't show up. It did make the local news. I don't know if it made the national. I know it was on the Ren's network. But I wanted to show you what we were wearing back then, okay? I've got it on. It's I'm going to have to raise up here so you can see it. So this is a momentous day, and I'm showing this to you so that you'll know End the reign of John McCain. Look at that face on there. Look at that face. Look at that. I mean, you know, how evil do you have to be? So I wanted to show off my End the Reign of John McCain shirt. It was part of the Detain McCain protest that we took part in down in Phoenix back in, like I say, the fall of 2014. So that's really all I wanted to do this morning. Like I said, I'm going to have to fix this, figure out if I can get another internet service of some sort that'll do the job. But let's name off the let's name off the honor roll, shall we? And this is just the tip of the iceberg, ladies and gentlemen. The FISA fake warrant. All of the attempts to overthrow the government of the United States and the American people and the election, to put us in slavery, basically, to start new wars, to kill babies by the more millions and people in general, human trafficking, pedophilia, Satan worship, all on a government-sponsored level. I mean, we're already there anyway. Trump's trying to break it up. But let's read this honor roll, shall we? Okay? All are innocent until proven guilty. I'm saying that up front. All are innocent until proven guilty. Right. Obama, Lynch, Comey, Yates, Hillary Clinton, Andrew McCabe, Orr, Carlin, Page, Strzok, Baker, Priestap, Steele. Let's name some more that aren't on my list that are right here. Let's name Clapper, Hayden, Brennan. And we could go on down the list. Eric Holder. This has been a nightmare. And the American people, when they put Obama in office, didn't know who he was. And there were members of our government who knowingly covered up who and what he really was. I think that's a conspiracy. I think that's a conspiracy, especially if he was not legitimately, by law, able to be president of the United States. But even if he was, it was done under subterfuge, lies, deceit. And his subsequent fruits, remember I say we judge people by their fruits, prove that. Life isn't a place where you get things for free without putting out effort. Life isn't a place where you, especially in the United States, where, and I know we've had a difficult history, growing pains, but to bring in people that could prey upon our American citizens, not saying all immigrants are bad, but there's a process for coming in. And those who abide the process are welcome, and they become Americans. Those who don't abide the process are criminals. Plus, the opportunity for ISIS to come in, gangs like the Zetas and MS-13. It's been a real nightmare. Going after good Americans like the Bundys to steal their land so that they could give it to the Chinese, and the Hammonds steal their land so that they can take the uranium off and give it to the Russians and other multinational corporations. It's been a real nightmare. So they're all alleged criminals at this point. Charges might be waiting. There might be indictments behind the scenes. I don't know. You know, we've been looking at that for a long time. But it certainly is justified. So a lot of people ask me, you know, since I feel the way I do about the current Q situation here, you know, talking about Q, you know, I said I wouldn't. But I had a question yesterday on Twitter as to if I don't want to go along with the Q stuff right now. I'm not saying that again. I'm just saying I'm not. Okay, you people can look at that all you want and pass it around to your buddies and your friends and discuss it. Have a good time solving the puzzles. You know, all of that. I'm going to get my information other ways, but and I'm not saying that's bad necessarily. But at any rate, I just wanted to bring it up that some people were chastising me for taking part in that big, huge meme send-in on the fake news Awards Day. All the different hashtags. Jordan Sather came up with a bunch. Anyway, and of course Q did the We the People thing and the Great Awakening and all that. But, a good idea is still a good idea. And so I took part in it because in that way, we were able to get a lot of information to the people that matter, the crooks and those who can do something about it, and try to overcome. I think we did a pretty good job. The censorship on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and elsewhere. So overall, I think it was a good program, no matter who thought of it. Okay. And I have to bring up Pam Jones here, just so you know, so I can't take credit for the memes I put out. Pam Jones sent those to me, which was a good thing because they shut her down almost right away. She wasn't able to get many of her memes out before they shut her down. And I was able to send those out. I'm surprised they didn't shut me down. Maybe they did. Maybe they shadow banned me, and I don't know that. But she couldn't even get them sent out. Later on, I guess that day they finally let her back on, but it was a fight. It definitely was. So I'll just leave it there today. Call our representatives, everybody that you can, and say yes, you need to go after these criminals, these obvious traitors, these evil people. Make those phones just ring off the hook. If you have a YouTube channel, if you have Twitter, just be demanding this all the time, okay? So that everybody knows. We can't let them go this time. It's just beyond the pale. You saw what they're willing to do in Hawaii, and I'm fully convinced of that. I don't have proof, of course, but what I do is a COA matrix, and I put all that information together, and then I back engineer it. Basically, is what it is. It's like I said, it's like proving a theory of a crime. You try to prove some things and you try to disprove others. It depends upon how you approach it. But I think it's pretty obvious with the location of the Clintons that day on the Big Island of Hawaii, which is south of where apparently this attack was going to take place, up on either Kauai or Oahu, hundreds of miles away. They would have sat there. Do you remember back in the 70s, I think it was, may have been the 80s. I think it was the 70s, though. There was a 007 movie, and it was called A View to a Kill. That's what you saw there, ladies and gentlemen. They were there to celebrate. They'd see the flash in the distance, but they would have been in no danger. A View to a Kill. That's what they were up to. I'm convinced of it with the evidence that I've seen. A lot of people say, well, give us the details. Well, I can't do that, sorry. And it would take too long anyway, and to try to get you to follow along. But there's a lot there, okay? All right, I'll close this down. I just wanted to do a quick one to test this. And like I said, I can see there's some problems with the connection still. I'm going to have to up the ability for this thing to handle this type of transmission. And I don't know when that'll be, but I still have my phone. I can do live streams with that. And for my regular program that I usually put on a video camera and then upload, it'll still work for that because it won't be jumping around on you, okay? All right, wow, web demographic survey. Well, I ain't taking that. All right, everybody, keep your eyes on the horizon, your ears to the ground. Thank God for the help to expose this evil that has caused so much grief to humanity, to men and women and children the world over, and particularly in this great constitutional republic. Ask God to bless this constitutional republic of the United States of America, President Donald J. Trump, and all of you. Out here until next time.